Hello and welcome to this engine assembly video of this Suzuki RM 125 engine from 2008. In this video I'm gonna assemble this, and on the way I ran into some problems, but as you can see now, it's assembled. And and the reason I had to disassemble this engine and assemble it again was because of a crack in the case, in the main cases at the drain plug. There was a crack right up, so I had to split the case and get some guy to weld it. And then in this video you're gonna see me assemble it again. I did miss, or I forgot to record some things of some parts of the engine assembly. I actually forgot to record the case assembly. I'm sorry about that, but other than that, I missed getting on the cylinder as well and the head, but all the other things should be in or are in this video of me assembling. And enjoy the video. So this engine cracked right here at the drain plug. So what I had to do was to split the cases apart and get it welded, which I did. So as you can see here, right, it's welded right now. Got it for a pretty good price, and I'm quite happy about it. I don't know if you can see from there, but right here, where the mating surface, where the drain plug has to seal, has gotten quite a lot of material on top here. So what I have to do is I'll have to grind this down and sand it to make it level, so I can get the drain plug to seal again. So while this also cracked right here, the threads inside here also went out, so I'll also have to drill it out and put in a helicon, because there's not enough material in there for me to just cut a new thread. There's not enough material for that. So I'm going to put a helicon in, and hopefully that works, because otherwise it would be quite annoying, but I hope it works. So as you can see here, I have the crank for the engine right here in my vise. And the reason I have it here is because I need to get off these old main bearings. And I don't really have any tools to extract these from the main bearing, so I'm going to have to try and figure something out to get these off, so I can get on some new ones, because after engine splitting you need to, or it's recommended that you change the main bearings. So I'm just going to do that, because I have the option to do it right now. While I'm waiting for other parts, I'm just going to do this as a start. So yeah. As you can see here, so far I've gotten it a little bit off. This is definitely not the right method to do this, but that's all I have to do this right now. So yeah, I'm just going to continue with this until I get it off, and yeah. So here I've gotten the main bearing off here with the method. And as you can see, this is definitely not the best method to do this. I've done a little bit of damage to the crank, but I'll go and sand that down, so there isn't any protruding parts or anything that chips off and falls into the engine. So yeah, but I'm just going to do this to the other side as well, to get off those bearings and make it ready afterwards to get on some new bearings. So yeah. So, as you can see, I've got the main bearing off, both sides on the crank. What I did, as you can see here, because of the way I got off the crank, it's had some flaws I've beat into it. And so what I did there was I sanded them down, those imperfections. So there wasn't any protruding parts or anything that can fall off and get into the engine while it was running. I did that on both sides. So yeah, it's not very great, but that's just how it is. I got the bearings off, so yeah, that's good. So yeah, so now I'm going to put this away for until I get my crank balancer, which is coming in the mail very soon, so I can make sure that it's balanced correctly, and I'll have no trouble with that. So yeah, it's going to be put away for now. So as you can see here, at the drain plug that's gotten welded, as I said earlier, there was a lot of material right here on top, so that's going to need to be grinded off. So what my plan is, I'm going to take the grinder, grind the worst of it off, and afterwards I'm going to get either a file or Dremel to get the rest, so it's more precise than the angle grinder, and make sure it's level. So and after that's done, I'm going to have to drill this out, the drain plug, because I don't know if you, let me try, if you can see, the threads are pretty bad in there, so I'm going to have to drill that out and put in a helical. So yeah, that's what we're going to be doing next. And afterwards, that's done, we're going to clean up all the gasket surfaces around here on the motor, and get everything ready for case assembly. So yeah. So as you can see, I've grinded it down with a grinder, and yeah, it's definitely not the best result. As you can see, it's not completely level, but after it's drilled out and I put in a helical, I'm sure it'll stay tight with a copper washer, so there shouldn't be a problem. So yeah, that actually went quite well, and didn't take too long. So now I'm just gonna get those gasket surfaces cleaned up on both this, and afterwards I'll get to balancing the crank and getting on some new main bearings. So yeah, that's going to be great. So as you can see, I cleaned up all the gasket surfaces, so it's ready for assembly. See this right here, it's smooth, can't really get it off, so that's why it looks like that. But otherwise, yeah. So yeah, both cases are prepared for assembly. And the only thing I really can do right now is wait for the helical kit to come off the mail, and the crank balancer, so I can get the crank balanced. And after that, we should be ready for assembly. So yeah. So as you can see, I just received my helical kit. So let's just get right into it. So I just drilled out, and it's now ready for me to cut some threads in to get into helicals. As you can see, I got the new threads cut for the helical, so now we're just ready to install. But first I'm just gonna give it a quick wash, so there's not all these metal piece of metal inside here. So yeah. Okay, so I ran into a problem. I cut the threads in for this to put in the helical, and I thought things went great. But apparently they sent me the wrong helical size. This thread size is right, but the thread elevation is wrong. So this is the original drain plug with a thread elevation of 1.25, which I ordered, and they sent me the right thread size, but the thread elevation of this is 1.5 instead of 1.25. So what happened is I actually checked to see if the helicals fit the drain plug. As you can see here, it goes right in. But the problem is that these helicals, when they go into that, where the thread elevation is 1.5, they just stretch out and fall along. So as I've already cut in the thread into the block, I can't just cut another thread with another elevation. That will not work very good. So I'm just going to buy a new drain plug. It's kind of a bummer, but it is how it is. And as you can see here, they don't, the elevation, they won't fit into each other. Which I probably should have checked before I started drilling, but as you can see, these two, they fit into each other, but this one doesn't. So yeah, that kind of sucks, but it is how it is. So there's really not much to do until I get a new drain plug to test out if this works. So yeah. So I finally received my new drain plug with the different thread elevations, and I've also just gotten the helical installed, so it's now ready, and it goes in perfect. If I can get it in, yeah. So yeah, that's really great. And oops, we'll get on to balancing crank, and then we're going to assemble the engine. As you can see, I just received my crank balance in the mail, and I've just assembled this and checked the crank here with the dial, and it's dialed in, so no need to worry there, and we'll get on to engine assembly. So I've got the new crank bearings, and we're ready to assemble. So what I'm going to do with these is I'm going to heat them up a little bit, but not too much, because that's not good for the bearings. But just heat them up a little bit, and they'll go onto the crank, as it's in the freezer right now, and it's shrunk a little bit, and when I heat these, they'll expand a bit. So by that, it should be they should just hop right on. But if don't, I've got this tool that's so I can get them on safely without risking damaging the bearings. So yeah, let's just get right into it. And I'm just going to give these a little bit of oil, so they slip on easier. And just going to, just give it a little bit of lube here. Just some normal two-stroke oil. Just give it a bit more. Yep. And these should slip right on. And yeah, they didn't. So what I'm going to do is get this and make sure it's even. Here, they just went in, and we're just going to continue to the other side. Just gonna put a little bit of heat into that. Turn this around. Get this a little bit more open. Yep, and hopefully this. Remember. Of lube, just to help it. Oh, I went all over the place. Yep. And hopefully, yeah, this one, yep, went right on, as you can see. But we're just gonna, to make sure it's all the way in, just give it a little bit quick tap. Yep. So, yeah. Now we've gotten both the new crank bearings on, and what I'm going to do is just give them a little bit of lube, just to make sure they're all lubed up. Yep. And same for the other side. And because this has been in the freezer, it's going to the freezer again, but all this condensation, that can cause it to rust. I've had the problem before where it's just rusted up. So what I'm going to do is just give that a quick wipe with some two-stroke oil to prevent that. So just, yep, and just give it a quick wipe before going into the freezer again. Get it all oiled up. So we've got it all oiled up. Just remember to get all the surfaces. And right here also. Yep. Okay, so I'm going to put this back in the freezer, and then I'll get my table all cleaned up from all the oil, and we'll get on to putting in the gear case and or the gearbox, and yeah, we'll get to engine case assembly. So I've gotten the gearbox in, and now we're going to heat up this and get this seal out and heat up this and get on the gasket, and then we'll assemble the engine. So I've got the case assembled. I forgot to record, but I'm not going to split it again, so it's going to you're not going to see that, but it's going quite rough now. So what I'm going to do, as you can see, it's a little bit more over here than here. So I'm going to, with this crank puller, just going to pull it a bit to try and ease the tension, because there's a lot of tension right here. So I can barely move this right now. So yeah, that's what's going to happen now. So after playing a little bit with the tool I had, it didn't really work the way I hoped it would, but I put on this bolt and I tapped it a few times with a hammer, and as you can see now, there's absolutely no tension. So it's really great, and it just goes perfectly, and So now what we'll be getting onto is assembling the clutch side and the clutch and all of that with the water pump and this and that, and afterwards we'll get to the ignition side, and then we'll end up with putting on the top end. So yeah, shouldn't be long before this engine is assembled, and then it's ready to get into the bike itself. But I'll probably move this bike to another location before mounting the engine, because it's not the most convenient bike to get out of here when assembled. So I actually have to disassemble this to get out of this room. So instead of assembling it just to disassemble again later, I'll just move it to another location and assemble the rest of the bike there. So yeah, that's the plan for now. So I've now got the gear shifting mechanism installed, and it shifts fine. In start I was a bit worried that it didn't shift, but after just getting it all looped up in there in the gearbox, it shifts just fine through all 6 gears. So now I'll get on to the power valve, and after the power valve I'll get on to the Kickstarter and this the gear that's here that goes onto the clutch wheel. So yeah. So I've gotten both the Kickstarter and this and the crank shaft drive wheel here, and the power valve, and now I'll be getting on the clutch, and yeah, so let's get on for that. So now I've got the clutch basket on and the inner clutch basket, and in here the washer you have to, as you can see I've done here, fold it up around the nut, and usually these washers are bigger, but for some reason this one I got was so small, so I couldn't with these I couldn't grab them. So what I had to do is punch in a screwdriver, a flat one, under here, just to get it to get a little bit of lift, so I could grab it with these. And that kind of sucks because, as you can see, it's not really super pretty. I've had to beat a lot into this inner case, and that kind of sucks because, yeah, it's not very good. As you can see, yeah, it's taking quite a lot of damage, but I don't think it will be causing any problems because the material that started to lift, I've just got that off with a screwdriver, so there shouldn't be any parts that should be falling off or anything. So I think it will be good, but it's quite annoying. So I've gotten the clutch all installed, and we're now ready to get the inner clutch cover on, and that's where the water pump gear is in. It's sitting in the water pump cover right now. So I'll just be putting that on, and then we'll go around to the ignition side and get on the ignition and the flywheel. And I actually have ordered a flywheel weight just to try how it feels with extra weight on. So we're also going to be installing that. So yeah. So I got the engine turned around, and now the plan is to get on the stator and the flywheel and try and mount the flywheel weight I ordered, and after that get in the clutch arm here, and then we'll get on to getting on the cylinder, getting on the new piston, and with the new piston. And the head, and we should be all good to go. So after struggling a bit with this flywheel weight and this weird nut that was supposed to go inside of here, I decided not to use it because for some annoying reason I couldn't get it to fit on, and yeah, after trying for I don't know, a long time, I just, for some reason, I couldn't get it to catch while the flywheel weight was on. But I checked, it fit on fine without the flywheel on. I could get it on, but not with the flywheel and weight on. For some reason, it did just did not want to. So that's quite annoying, but I guess it is how it is, and yeah. So I've got the ignition cover on, and now I'm going to get on the piston, and afterwards mount the cylinder, and get on these reeds and the boot, and the engine should be ready to go, and to be put into the Suzuki again. So yeah. So I've gotten the piston on and gotten off on the gasket here, and I'm going to put on the cylinder right now, and then afterwards get on the power valve here, and get on the head, and yeah. So the engine is finally assembled and done, and that's going to be the end of this video. You're going to get a little bit of montage here last of the engine, and in another video going to be putting it into the bike, and so thank you so much for watching, and that's going to be it for this video.